So, black men, tell me what you think about this. This is a time where Barack Obama, you know, the great Messiah, the savior. This is the time to where he tells black men, you are obligated. You have no choice but to vote for your own demise, which is Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Democrats, and all of these people. Which tells you that the Democratic Party is not good for you anyway. Never has been, never will be, but they bring this guy out. I want to fight. I'll just leave it like that. And so let's see how he lectures these men. And keep in mind, the reason that you're seeing this is definitely not for this small group of men, whatever gathering that they're having, this, that, and the other. You're seeing this is because shame on you, black man, for not, those of us who are not voting for Kamala. We're not in the camp of Kamala. Shame on you for this. Fuck out of here with that.
I know we're not talking about history. When Kamala's history as an official in California is filled with thousands of cases of black men and even Hispanic men that she destroyed. Yes, in her official capacity as DA in San Francisco and in her official capacity as AG of California, she's the one who targeted these men. And again, not just black men, but black women too. The nerve of these people to bring this stuff up and act like she wasn't the top cop. Yes, literally drawing down on black people's heads. That's what she did and even laughed about it.
Because how could I not?
Because you think that's a sign of strength? Because that's what being a man is? Putting women down? That's not acceptable.
He's saying that black men, they're putting Kamala down. So holding this woman accountable for her record against black men, that's putting her down? Asking this woman for tangible benefits, specifically for black people, that's putting her down? Yeah, this is what Obama said talking to black men.
CNN political commentator Errol Lewis is in our fifth seat for this conversation. Errol,
look at
I
this
guess he
clown.
knew the cameras were there. It was an unscheduled stop, but that message was so pointed. In addition to him making it very clear, Kamala Harris is not doing what she needs to do.
Hold on. I don't know anything about this guy. But he seemed like he's about to have I'm trying to keep it friendly for YouTube, but I really can't think of what I want to say right now. He seems like he might have a hard candy for Barack Obama, the way he was looking. Let's see what he has to say.
With this core Democratic constituency.
That's right. Although he is asking her, let's be clear, to go over a very high hurdle. Barack Obama got historic levels of black voter registration and turnout and support, and he did it twice. It was almost inevitable that it was going to swing more toward the long-term average of a handful of black voters.
Can I interrupt you for just a moment, just to show you something here? Because we went back, looked at 2020 exit polls. Biden got 92% of the black vote. Right now, according to Quinnipiac, this is in Pennsylvania, according to Quinnipiac, Harris is at 78. It's a big gap in this state right now. And that can be closed because Biden is not Barack Obama.
Biden is not, well, he was Obama's running mate. Right. Certainly some spillover there. But you cannot ask of every black candidate in the post-Obama era you've got to come up with 92% of the black vote every time. That is just not a reasonable assumption. If the margins are as tight as they're likely to be in this race, that's going to cause you problems in Pittsburgh and in Philadelphia and in Detroit and in Milwaukee and in Atlanta and in all of the swing states. And so they're going to have to come up with a strategy. Now, Barack Obama is trying one strategy, trying to sort of connect with some of the black male voters who they think have been drifting away and are likely to drift away in these last 26 days. I'm not sure that's the right.
Here's your strategy. Your strategy should be very simple. Go talk to the people. You get an aggregate of however you want to measure it, because statistics say you would get the same result if you poll 100 people as opposed to 1,000 people. Have a plan, go talk to those people, and whatever the consensus is, give those people what they want. That's your strategy. Your strategy shouldn't be go into the White House as millionaires. Not millionaires. Upper 700,000aires and come out as multi-millionaires. But fair thinking people, which is most people, we can't even see what these people see. And they don't want us to see what they see.
Right message.
I mean,
they have to try something.
It's a lot of pressure. I mean, this is not a nice message. This is a very stern message.
Let me ask you a question, Abby and Nina. Let me say, I find it very interesting that we're trying to reach out to white men. We're trying to reach out to black men. The people whose rights are really on the ballot right now are women. And we're begging all these men to pay attention to us and to care enough about this election, to vote, to come out, to support us. I feel like Barack going on the campaign trail right now makes perfect sense. Of course, right? He's a top surrogate for Democrats. He should be out there doing the work right now. I think it's so amazing to me that with women's rights on the line, we're spending so much time focusing on making sure men care.
And listen to this dumb feminist. See, black women, this is what got the women before us in trouble in the first place. Listening to rebellious liberal white women like her talk about women's rights being on the ballot and then allowing that issue to trump everything else. Attempting to make that issue bigger than the economy, bigger than inflation, bigger than all these wars going on, driving us into a potential World War III, bigger than rebuilding the black family. Women like this one right here, they're sabotaging us, trying to make termination rights more important than all of that. And to this dumb powdered donut, the reason that they have President Obama going out to black men is because they have an issue with black men. The reason why they have Tim Walz trying to reach out to white men is because they have an issue with white men. They have an issue with men, period. White, black, Hispanic, Arab, the ones that are not leaning LGBT, they're not falling for this. And you're not going to win an election with only women, Nimrod. It's not just female voters out there, you have male voters too.
Because men, I don't know, it's because men are the problem
Men
right now for
care.
Kamala Harris.
I mean, women.
And by the way, Governor Walz, according to Politico, is going to be going out on a men tour, literally a tour of media to appeal to men.
They need to appeal to the needs of the voters. And so when I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio, right now the vice president is down 11 points in Ohio, even though I fully expect President Trump to take Ohio as he did twice, but to be down 11 points compared to President Biden, that is a problem. But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So,
yes, and I do agree that they are lecturing to black men like we're uninformed, like we don't know or anything like that. Y'all need to bring us along so we understand. I don't feel offended. However, I can see how some black men can be offended. But the bottom line is, I'm voting for Trump. Y'all can talk and please invite me to one of these Barack Obamas like he did that right there. I would be very polite, very respectful. And then after I say what I have to say, I will probably be asked to leave or properly escorted out. Because I will point to history. And I wouldn't even go back to slavery. I will point to recent history. I mean, as early as or late as 2008, when Barack Obama was put into office. And I voted for him in 2008. You can lecture me all you want. I don't give a flying fuck. Supposedly lecturing me, that message just misses me. It's like this. Words, 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 words. It just misses me.
Unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups.
Perfect.
My message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from black women. And what?
True.
As a politician, we should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care about the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama.
Nope.
It is a wrong course for the Harris Waltz campaign to lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons. In 2020, the vice president was labeled.
You don't need bodily autonomy. No, it just give younger women a reason to just go out there and just fuck and just get impregnated and then delete the child and then have emotional abuse after the fact and all of that. Is that productive to society to have a bunch of emotional women? Because no one in this reproductive rights, my body, my choice, bodily autonomy, like this lady just said, no one has said what the mental repercussions of these things would be. No one has said anything about that. They probably haven't even did a study on it or anything like that. But even as a man speaking on this, to have a child that has been growing inside of you, sucked out of you limb by limb, and you're there, you can hear it. Of course, you can't see it. It's all right, $600. Have a great day. What? That's not gonna weigh on you mentally? Maybe you don't.
A cop, as we know.
But do you think, sorry to interrupt you, Nina, but do you think he's right that one of the reasons is because they don't like the idea of a
It might be some listen, black men are socialized in the same society as any other man. So yes, is misogyny maybe a part of it? But again, is President Obama and is the Harris Waltz campaign going to lecture other male groups in the same way that they're lecturing
This is
black
not just about.
And see, before she got cut off, Nina Turner was saying something about Kamala being positioned as a top cop before in the last election.
To lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons. In 2020, the vice president was labeled a cop, as we know.
But do you think...
And going down that direction was going to force them to talk about Kamala's history of her prosecutorial targeting of black men in California. Instead, they went into these feminist talking points about misogyny and all this other stuff. No, black men want policies. Policies that will positively benefit them economically, that's going to help them financially. Not illegal immigrants that's going to bring down their wages or gender-changing surgeries. No, that's not important for men in general. Black men are also not interested in provoking wars. Why? Because at the end of the day, these feminists won't be on the front line to fight. See, those are the conversations they don't want to have. That's why instead they blame misogyny.
I don't think so.
It's not just about Pennsylvania. It's not just about men. It sounds like there's a concern that there's a broad problem for Vice President Harris with the blue wall. It's basically, according to the poll of polls, no clear leader, a tied race.
So yeah, that's going to be the end of this. So take from this what you must. It's just a bunch of words, and they're trying to influence your way of thinking. It's just take what they say, go to the other side, figure out what the other side is saying, come to a consensus in the middle, and I guarantee you, if you have common sense, just think about what makes sense. Does this make sense? Does that make sense? Just think about what makes sense, and I guarantee you, you'll be in a good place.